Hey everyone, welcome to D&D Fuzzy Tales, I'm Machina. This story comes from user Rocket Boost, and it's the sequel to another story, the link of which you can find in the description. I highly recommend watching that story first, as this video will discuss the return of Bale, the creepy furry who ruined the game at Session 0. Without further introduction, let's do it. After popular demand, here's the follow-up story of how the finance bro we're calling Bale, after Christian Bale in American Psycho, broke another game. You can read the first story, She Feeds Me My Milk, here. Though this tale isn't as silly and creepy, it shows how a player broke a DM in 4 sessions. Setup. After my experience with Bale, I swore off ever running a game with him in it. Just too much trouble. But of course, that still allowed the prospect of playing alongside him. In my town, the community is small, so you catch what you can. I ended up at a D&D 5e game being run by one of the most experienced DMs I have ever met. You name it, he's run it. He actually dislikes D&D immensely compared to other systems. We disagree on this, but he finds it basic, vanilla, and a series of go kill this and take its stuff events. He prefers games extremely heavy on roleplay, and likes to meticulously plan his worlds so every single blade of grass is noted and every character action sends ripples out. His solution of getting D&D up to his standards was to drop the players into a sprawling decade-spanning epic of rebellion against an evil empire. The DM took several months to plan everything. Hand-drawn maps, list upon lists, the whole crapbang, no stone unturned. Playing in the game would be myself, a regular veteran player, my friend the wizard from the Milk game, and of course, he brought along Bale. Now I didn't note in the last story that Bale had experience way back with 2nd and 3rd edition, and he used that as a selling point with the DM who thinks 5e is too simple. I warned the DM who he was taking on, but he was confident. Session 1. Stupid kids. The DM has sent us a primer on his setting, so we get together to make our level 3 characters and start playing. I'm a dwarven barbarian. The veteran is an elven ranger. The wizard is, as always, a human wizard. Bale is a human arcane trickster rogue. But the DM has something special in store for us. We're going to jump back in time 20 years to when our characters were 8 years old kids. It will be very unreal, but we'll fight rats in the basement like they're monsters, soak in some exposition, and witness the moment the city got taken over by the dictatorship, which, of course, one of our parents was involved in. Nice idea, huh? Well, Bale has other ideas. Rather than get on board with the little rascal's beats and the obvious guiding hand, he decides that he wants to cheat people. He says he wants to go to the market, and seeing the art sellers use magic to make some regular bricks look like gold bricks so he can buy some of the art and hide it for 20 years so he can sell it at a higher price. We're feeling that, just steal it for the same purpose. The DM has to explain to Bale, 1. That's ridiculous metagaming. 2. He is a child so he doesn't know any magic yet. 3. He is an 8-year-old so wouldn't really be thinking of art collecting. And 4, he's disrupting the story he was told was going to be very basic for just a session. It takes a lot of back and forth with Wizard asking him to behave before DM gets him to get with the program. But he does, and we finish the sesh. A bit of the wind taken out. The DM is a little shaken, but he tells me he's confident. Session 2. Viva la Resistance. We start the story proper, meeting in a tavern. Bale and the wizard are part of the super secret resistance against the evil empire. Veteran and I show up looking to sign up. But oh no! 4 off-duty empire guards march in looking to get drunk. Wizard slips out, while Veteran and I dip our heads low. Bale has other ideas though. Who looks the richest in here? On being pointed out a merchant, Bale immediately tries to rob him. With 4 guards right there. And of course he screws up the roll. But the DM says the merchant luckily didn't notice. It would be stupid to try again though. Bale tries again. And fails even worse. So the guards grab Bale and seize his coin purse. They're about to kick 7 shades of crap out of him before I stand up. My dwarf is a former soldier, so with some good BSing rolls and shoving my unit tattoo, I convince them to sit down, pour me a drink, while I take this reprobate outside for a beating. For effect, I announce to the players I'm going to pretend to give Bale a hard punch while actually doing just 1 HP damage to make it look real. I make this extremely clear, even winking at Bale. Bale tries to dodge it and stab me. He misses and I grapple him, drag him outside, and tell him to wait in the nearby barn. I then go inside and with some gambling skills, win back most of Bale's money. We all rendezvous out in the barn, and I give him the cash. When Bale then tries to cheat Veteran and me out of our money, he sends Wizard out to look out so he can contradict what Bale's about to say, and tells Veteran and I that in order to join the resistance we need to each pay an exorbitant sign-up fee. Let me restate that this is utter bollocks. We're flabbergasted, but we do our insight checks while he runs deception. I think we might have even got an advantage, but we rolled badly and through gritted teeth gave him almost all our money. The rest of the session we can zip through. The Resistance HQ was in the basement of the tavern. We captured the guards for intel and took them down. Bale tried to murder them repeatedly while the rest of us told him not to. Doesn't matter, the mood was poisoned. Guy tried to cheat his group. The DM said he would speak to Bale, but he had it under control. Session 3. The Visitor. Now the general session plot of this doesn't matter much. We raised an outpost. Bale tried to hoard all the loot. He was still being a dick, of course, but there wasn't anything awful. Maybe this could work. Then Bale the player got a mobile phone call. He turns to DM and says, "Hey man, my girl's outside. She's drunk. I told her to come up so she can just sleep on the couch." Now that might already shock you, but let me just give you some particular. It is about 9 PM. Where she's been drinking is a full 40-minute taxi drive away. Bale has told her this address and been sitting on this for probably an hour. Again, this is just the latest of girls Bale has met. No one knows this person. We play at the DM's house and the DM has a toddler who literally sits and plays in his playgen right next to our gaming table. The DM also has a little dog that will freak out and piss everywhere at encountering strangers. The DM's wife has trusted us to treat the house with respect. Bale didn't ask. He doesn't say please. He never says thank you for this after. The DM is telling Bale this is highly irregular and asking why she's got to come over here. Bale says she wanted to come back to his, but since Bale's there playing and she's drunk, she needs to wait. Pretty please and all that. And then the doorbell rings. Bale goes and lets her in. She's absolutely pissed and stumbling in a mini skirt and high heels. The dog starts spraying pee everywhere. She lurches over to where the baby is and starts cooing. The baby starts wailing. She goes into the bathroom to throw up. The DM tells Bale that because we are in the middle of a complex encounter, we will finish the session ASAP, and when that happens, he must take her away immediately. Drunky gets out of the bathroom and passes out on the couch snoring. With that strange event, we continue the game for about 20 minutes. When the DM's wife comes home early, she's visibly perturbed at this random woman spread out on her couch. She asks and we explain, trying to do better than Bale, who's exclaiming, "Oh, she's fine." Drunky wakes up and starts telling wife how pretty her baby is and how nice the house is. Wife is fuming. We finally finish this encounter and end the session. Bale takes his drunk away. Session 4. The end. DM is done with Bale. The next session, Bale starts the game off by triggering a bloodbath at a simple guard checkpoint we could have basically walked through. We're supposed to be riding with our resistance contacts and keeping a low profile, but whoopity-doo, now there's a pile of corpses. But DM already has a solution. He doesn't tell us, but when we get to a certain place, he plans on having the rebels straight up murder Bale for being a liability. Why not just kick him out? Like I said before, this DM obsesses over world building. He is torn from being pissed off this guy is screwing with his perfectly crafted world and story he had ready, but equally he has to get rid of him by the rules of his world. But halfway through the session, Bale goes into another room with DM. They come back out. We go through the rest of the session, and it's not crazy eventful, but at the end, the party meets a group of people. Bale pickpockets them, and the session ends. Epilogue. And that's it. We never play that game again. The DM says he just doesn't want to run it anymore. Apparently Bale begged him to stay during their talk, and that he would behave. So the DM called off his death squad, but when Bale did that final theft at the end, even if something very small, I think that was just the final straw. That he couldn't resist doing something edgy for one damn session after that chat. Why not continue with the others? I just think the DM had put so much effort in everything that Bale messed him up. And that's the tale. Wow, it seems like that Bale player has done all the stereotypes of the worst kinds of players. From creepy furry to Murderhobo. This was kind of a long video, so this will be the only one this week, but we will be back next week with another video. If you like this kind of content, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss it. See you then.